G'day guys and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Simply Ree. Oh dear god. Okay, I've never actually said g'day before unironically in my life, so please forgive me. But it is on topic because today's video is going to be all about Australian assumptions about the people, the culture, and it's very trendy right now because I've been in the UK for 18 months and I get these assumptions and stereotypes every single week of my entire life. So stick with me. And today I'm also repping Paul Kelly because what an Australian icon, and honestly I just wanted to have at least one stereotype with me today because I am the worst Australian stereotype ever in the world. So firstly, when you meet someone new and you're just like, oh, hi, I'm from Australia, and they go, you don't look like you're from Australia, like sorry, what does that even mean? And then I like put together the stereotype about like the beach bod and the blonde hair and the tan and the blue eyes, and then there's me. Like, I'm clearly not the stereotype, but like I'm really sorry. I feel like a lot of people get this, like a lot. And I don't know if it's because of like Home and Away and Neighbours, which British people love over here for some reason, but everyone just expects to be like blonde hair, nice wavy, you know, like the beach look. Like, sorry, but that's definitely not me. I'm as pale as they come and I have very dark hair, so like please forgive me that I don't look like an Australian. Also, which brings me to my next one actually. I hate the beach, and every time I say that people are like, what do you mean you hate the beach? Like it's paradise. No, it isn't. It's sandy, it's hot, like it just, no. By the time you run into the water and you come back to your towel, sweating again already. I don't see the point. Also, I can barely swim, so kind of not ideal for me to be in the beach. But again, this is a stereotype. Obviously Australia is known for the beaches and that's great place to live, like no problem about that. But some people just don't like the beach, and I feel like that's honestly blasphemy when you say that to someone over here who's used to like pebble beaches, and yeah, it's not good. But it's such a classic stereotype, and might I add, I know other people that don't like the beach, okay? So it's not just me, leave me alone, please. And also I can't tan, so what is the point of me being like, yeah, I love the beach, like I'm a beach girl, and then everyone's like, why do you look like Casper the Ghost then? Like, okay, sorry, I can't tan, leave me alone. So that's like two of the biggest stereotypes just rolled into one. The fact that everyone's ideal and loves the beach, like girl, blue eyes, blonde hair. I probably only know like two people that actually look like that. So another good one is when people are like, why would you leave Australia? It's like paradise. Why would you ever leave? And I've honestly been asked this about 5,000 times since I've been here, and I always say because it's too hot, and everyone's like, oh, but isn't that great? Like you can just go to the beach and it's always sunny, so people are always outside, and like, okay, like you have a good point. But also on the flip side, then when you're like, oh yeah, I mean it is good, like you can go bushwalking, stuff like that, everyone's like, bushwalking? Like in the bush? Like aren't you gonna die because there's like spiders and snakes? Ugh. And it's like, pick one. You can't just have the paradise stereotype along with the everything is gonna kill you stereotype, because that doesn't sound like paradise to me. It just blows my mind because I'm like, where are these stereotypes coming from? It's not like Crocodile Dundee, or you know, like there's not giant spiders that are going to come and eat you in your sleep. Although I just remembered that I saw this on the internet the other day, and it's in Australia and it's real and it's terrifying. But still, when I'm like, oh yeah, like I've seen a snake, everyone's like yeah, I've seen a snake in my backyard, but it was like this big and it looks like a worm. And also, I'm still not gonna touch it. I still didn't go out there and jump on it like bloody Steve-O, like no, that's not me. Just use a little common sense. Like if it was actually gonna kill you, we'd probably all be dead. Like really? Imagine leaving your house and it's just like you step on a snake, you run into a spider web, like some kind of giant lizard comes out and attacks you. Like no one would live there if that was the case. Especially not me, my god. Okay, another stereotype is that everyone is a bogan, right? This is just so not true. I am bullied over here all the time because I'm a posh Aussie and I don't sound like a bogan. I hardly use any slang. Like, it almost killed me to say g'day in the start of this video. Like, this is not what I'm used to. Don't get me wrong, there are still phrases that I say that everyone's just kind of like, what? When I say them. So like, I kind of get that. But I don't know people that talk in so much slang that you have no idea what they're possibly saying. Even my parents' generation or my grandparents' generation, like, I feel like if you're a tourist, you would still know what they're saying. It's not like we have our own actual language. It's just everything shortened, so. But don't get me wrong, I still love it. Every now and then I'll like indulge myself a little bit and I'll just like say something completely random that I wouldn't ever say usually, just to see people's reactions. Even stupid shit like hit the frog and toad, like here's your hat and coat, like everyone is always just kind of like, oh okay, cool. But you would never catch me dead saying things like wrap your laughing gear around that. Like, why? What is the point of saying something like that? Or have a captain cook, fair crack of the whip. Like, it's just it's just so silly. And if I ever heard anyone that I know using that in like a normal conversation, I would be like, are you okay? And don't get me wrong, I'm definitely going to do a video one day about Australian slang because, like, for example, I'm pretty sure no one actually calls a laptop a lappy, yet that's on so many slang websites and it drives me insane. So I guess, like, in terms of is it a stereotype or not, it's kind of true and kind of not, because there are so many things where I'm like, okay, that definitely counts as Australian slang, and then other times I'm like, please, no one has said that for at least 100 years, like, there's no way. And lastly, I mean, I think this goes without saying, but there are still people on this planet that think Australian people ride kangaroos. Just let that sink in. One, how on earth would that even be possible? How? Yes, there are tons and tons and tons and tons of kangaroos in Australia, like double the population, sure. But why would we need to use them for transport? That doesn't make any sense. And people believe that, and it scares me. It's like when I still find people that think that drop bears are real. Like, no, they're just koalas. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah guys, like, there's definitely no one in Australia riding around on kangaroos. It just would not work at all. And I feel like anyone in their right mind would probably just prefer to drive a car. And it bothers me so much because most of the stereotypes for Australia are just like so ridiculous that I am always baffled when people actually still believe them. Like, why? And while I'm well aware that unfortunately I'm nowhere close to being an Aussie stereotype, sorry about it, I do find like some joy when I say something that's confusing. So like, I'm happy to be a stereotype when it's funny and it suits me. So from this brunette Sheila, it's goodbye. I'm gonna go have a bicky and hot chocky, have a little chin wag with my mates, and that's it for the Savo. So I'm gonna hit the frog and toad. Bye.